Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas.
Jordan Thomas Foundation.
When you're a kid, the dreams are so big. You dream of being a firefighter or a doctor or a professional athlete because you just don't know any better. When you're a kid, the sky's the limit. But sometimes reality strikes. There were times after the accident where I would wake up thinking that I was in the water again.
Screaming and crying from physical pain and the psychological element of I'm still in the water. When your world's flipped upside down so suddenly, there's such a flood and mix of really powerful emotions. You know, you have this gratitude to be alive. I remember that. I remember the power of community. I think it was the first time in my life I had really experienced people surrounding me and loving me. The initial focus for me was on my physical recovery and on getting back to doing what I love to do. What I came to find later on in my journey was that the mental health and the recovery from an emotional standpoint was far more important than I recognized and realized. A few years after my accident, that grief and that sorrow and that trauma and that loss started to really emerge and manifest. Everyone sees the physical disability, but they don't recognize the invisible wounds and scars that we all carry.
Hey, Buster, how are you?
Love you.
The hands?
Isn't that the sweetest picture you've ever seen?
That's creepy. That's an adult man in a turtleneck wearing a sweater.
Jordan loved golf the minute he picked up his first club. Jordan was pretty happy-go-lucky. He was all about the sports. Soccer, he was really good at soccer. Was a kicker on the football team.
Jordan.
All right, let's go see where they are, buddy.
But he picked up a golf club really early. I know for me, I can distinctly remember the first time he got up on his prosthetics. And it hurt. It was painful. And knowing him so well, I could see the discouragement on his face, and I thought, really, this is what we've got to offer him? This is the best we can do?
This wasn't an easy path by any means, and it wasn't an easy path for me. It wasn't an easy path for my parents, and it wasn't an easy path for my brothers. It affected all of us.
Grief comes in waves. And it's so insidious. I mean, the funniest things will kick it off.
The grief is almost indescribable. As anybody who's had a significant loss knows, it just can't be put into words. And it was truly overwhelming. It was unmanageable. It was awful.
Here I was this able-bodied kid that had never been exposed to anything like this before. And I'll never forget, I saw these kids that some of them were amputees, some of them were not. But I just saw that they were alone. I saw that they weren't given the things they needed because of financial limitations. Like literally hearing that as a 16-year-old for me, it didn't compute. I didn't understand why a kid wouldn't be walking because they couldn't afford to. And so I just knew it was my responsibility to do something.
Even before leaving the hospital, he recognized very quickly, geez, I've got resources these kids don't have. He's talking about, Dad, we need to make a contribution to people who provide limbs or can help these kids.
You know, in the hospital, I certainly didn't have the blueprint of like, this is how a nonprofit starts, right? Our first fundraiser ever was this bracelet. We sold them for $5 a piece. I had the passion, I had the understanding, but that's where I had to lean on the community.
The reality is that I rely on the generosity of people. It means a lot to me because it affords us the opportunity to impact hundreds of lives.
The Jordan Thomas Foundation is an organization that's committed to giving kids with limb loss and limb difference their childhood. I know how dark it gets when nobody's looking. And so to be a source of hope for somebody, calling a family after their child's just lost a limb and saying, I know how difficult this is right now, and I promise you that this will get better. Not only will it get better, but we are going to love you and support you and care for you along the way, every step of the way. That's the real power and magic of JTF.
I was 22 years old. I had never seen a prosthetic leg up close. We did not have the money to pay out of pocket.
I spent a lot of the early part of the battle fighting against insurance companies.
My insurance company denied me a prosthetic. We reached out to the Jordan Thomas Foundation.
You need the people around you. You need parents, you need the foundations.
JTF is being able to share your experiences with other people that know what you're talking about.
We're just really grateful for JTF and being part of the family.
Like we even walk by ourselves.
JTF starts when these kids are so little and they're going to grow up together.
I can put all of my energy into being there with her.
The day that we were introduced to you guys was the day that our family's life changed.
We love you so very, very, very much. I was so worried about you before you were born and while you were in the NICU. I know that you will grow up to make other people's lives better. I love you now and forever, Mom.